Welcome to everyone to our Spirit of Christmas candle lighting program from Unity in the Olympics in Port Angeles, Washington. I'm going to read as our opening from the Christmas booklet, The Spirit of Christmas, that was published by Unity Worldwide Ministries. And this is from Jim Blake, the CEO of Unity World Headquarters. He says, 2000 has been a tough year for many. As such, the Christmas season this year may be challenging for some of us as a result of the global pandemic and its toll on our families, friends, and communities. For others, this year's holiday may be welcome, a chance to rekindle the annual feelings of warmth and generosity and love, allowing us to step away from stress and fear and uncertainty that occupied so much of this. Regardless of where we find ourselves on this year's spectrum, my humble invitation is to consider that we each have an opportunity to connect with at least one of the many threads in the tapestry of the Christmas spirit. Something often talked about, but difficult to define. What is it? What is it that brings forth this luminous Yuletide spirit? And I invite you to join me in an opening prayer. Just take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, just feel your body and your mind releasing all stress and concern for all things of this world. We prepare now to return to you, Source, and receive again the gift of light. Holy One, you are the isness of all that is. With great love and honor, as we celebrate celebrate your gifts to us, the light that brings us clarity, focus, ease, and grace to experience joy in our lives. We invite you to receive also our love for you and our continuing gratitude for the good that you bring us. Blessed be. Amen.
ahead, Alan. Your turn, Alice.
The daily word for today is healing. I cooperate with the healing presence within me. If I am tempted to ignore signals of pain or discomfort, I remind myself this is the way my body asks for help. I cooperate with the healing process by giving myself the care and attention I need by tuning into my body's signals and practicing self-care. I care for my whole being, my physical body, as well as my thoughts and emotions. I have faith in the ongoing restorative activity within my body, spirit, and soul. When I am led to seek help from medical professionals, I know spirit is guiding me and working through them. I have faith as I continue on my journey of healing. I believe in divine wholeness, and my conviction is as strong as I picture myself healthy and whole. The scripture for today is, may the God of peace himself sanctify you entirely, and may your spirit and soul and body be kept sound. 1 Thessalonians 5:23.
Every Day Were Christmas by James Dillard Freeman. If every day were Christmas, how different life would be. If not one day, but all the year, were ruled by charity. Had we the faith in miracles? A child has Christmas morn. Each day would be love's manger, and Christ would be reborn. In us again to change and heal our outworn wars and ways. Had we a child or a shepherd's gift for wonderment and praise? Yet every day is Christmas, when we have learned to live by love's law, learn not how to get, but only how to give, and like a child can wonder, and like a child can pray, but have the grown-up wisdom to give ourselves away.
The 12 powers for the 12 days of Christmas. While Christmas commemorates the birth of a man who more than 2,000 years ago, the heart of this holiday season can be expressed all year around if we learn to live by love's law. It is a process of bringing newfound awareness to our own divine nature, called the Christ, through our human experience. Spiritual practices support us in identifying ourselves as divine, inherently good, and claiming our innate potential known as the 12 powers. The powers are faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, and life. These are aspects of the perfect Christ pattern that is born in each of us. Christmas time invites us to focus intently on the birthing of our divine nature. Yet we can imagine this for every day of our lives as well. With childlike wonder, we can use these 12 spiritual powers to help us recognize we are sparkling, twinkling presence, and it is time to unwrap ourselves and share our magnificence. This is the season of giving ourselves to the world for healing transformation. As you practice your inborn powers in the 12 days ahead, may you come to see how magnificent, glorious, and spirit-filled life could be if every day were Christmas.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh hear the angel voices, oh night divine, oh night when Christ was born, oh night, oh holy night, oh night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord. Oh, praise his name forever. On high divine,
light this candle representing faith. Faith isn't necessarily something that arrives one day with a giant bang. Rather, it's a potential that grows, expands, is encouraged, and comes to life when invited. It is a divine idea, an expression of your divine identity through our humanity. Faith allows us to welcome our doubts and our fears, yet remain true to your heart, to be courageous beyond measure. It is the conviction of the heart, well formed, when we are steadfast in knowing. That faith directs us in how we express God as generosity, gratitude, love, harmony, and life. We live our most noble selves, and the Christ is made real every day. Rather than faith being a set of principles, a dogma, or creeds, we know it as a commitment to listen constantly to that internal voice. When I engage the power of faith, I leave a ripple effect for all time, a lasting legacy of making the divine real, based on how I engage all life while here on earth. Focus on the power of faith by affirming every day and in every way the light of faith illumes my path, allowing me to see truth as I express my divine identity. Let us say that together. Every day, in every way, the light of faith illumes my path, allowing me to see truth as I express my divine identity. In 2 Timothy 4:7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith.
All right. We light this candle representing strength. Maybe. There we go. A spiritual strength is like no other is our foundation to stay to stay the course when challenged by life and navigating new landscapes. How many times have you wept for yourself and loved ones? How many times have you felt impatient, frustrated, or alone? Yet, still you are here, because the power of your innate strength and the purity of your perseverance carried you through any difficulty. How many times have you silently witnessed how many times have you silently witnessed someone's doubts and fears and then gently whispered, "You are not alone. I am uplifting and strengthening you. When you fall, I will be there to hold you." This is the power of strength for ourselves and for each other. Strength of body, mind, and spirit. Spiritual strength is inherent in each of us and developed through our spiritual practices. It is our guide through the chaos and ultimately to the remembrance that God is everywhere present, in the dark and in the light. When you feel your own doubts and fears, affirm every day, in every way, the light of strength illumines my path, and I am strong and steadfast. I persevere in life. And let us say this together. Every day, in every way, the light of strength illumines my path, and I am strong and steadfast. I persevere in faith, in life. And our Bible verse for this hour is from Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I light this candle for wisdom. Wisdom is like an eternal lighthouse within us, faithfully guiding and always supporting us in spiritual understanding, which leads to taking right action. It is our ability to always turn within, to be still and listen. It is a natural ability cultivated by practices that quiet the mind and still the body, allowing us to see each life experience as a way to be more alive and to live more abundantly with greater purpose and meaning. Ultimately, our greatest reward and gift from the power of wisdom is healing joy. Joy we willingly share with those who need it most. When we dive into the infinite ocean of wisdom, always and everywhere present, we begin to know more, see more, and be more of our divine nature as a gift for the world. We are that manifestation of the living God moving with purpose, certainty, right seeing, and knowing. Now imagine something in life that needs your attention and direction, and affirm, every day, in every way, the light of wisdom illumines my path. In the quiet of my heart and body, I see and know what is mine to do. So now let's say that together in the stillness of your heart. Every day, in every way, the light of wisdom illumines my path. In the quiet of my heart and body, I see and know what is mine to do. And the scriptural reading for today is from Isaiah 30:21. And when you turn to the right, or when you turn to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. So be it.
I light this candle for love. The power of divine love doesn't discriminate It simply loves for love's sake. It is one of the names we use for God because it allows us to see everything, every fault, lie, hurt, or mistake, and yet simultaneously see none of it. While we embody the power of love, we realize we are one with all life, transforming every judgment, wound, or suffering we hold into harmony, peace, and wholeness. In harnessing the power of divine love, we also create space for others to share their own trials and tribulations, making a soft place for a loved one to fall when the world is circling out of control. As you pause and think about the world, those you love, strangers or planet Earth, put your hand on your heart and affirm, every day, in every way, the light of love illumines my path, awakening me to the realization that all things are possible. Would you please say this with me? Every day, in every way, the light of love illumines my path, awakening me to the realization that all things are possible. Our Bible verse for today is 1 Corinthians 13:2. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I have nothing.
Looking down at Christmas, all lovely, love divine was born at Christmas. Star and angels gave the sign. Love shall be our token. Love be yours and love be mine. Love to God and all men. Love for me and gift and sign.
Okay. I light this candle for power. In early Christianity, the word Bethlehem meant house of living bread, which we shall call the power of truth. Our innate spiritual power is the awareness we are standing on that solid foundation of truth, coupled with our ability to act from our most noble self, the perfect Christ pattern. When we feel unsteady and may not recognize truth staring at us in the face, the simple act of a slow, deep breath quiets the chaos inside and makes space for us to identify what is important in any given moment. We respond from a place of groundedness, our Christ nature. When we are singularly focused on divine power, our words, thoughts, and actions can transform the world. From the place of spiritual power, our presence reverberates, echoing to the world with perfect compassion and kindness. Pause for a moment, take a long, deep breath, fill your lungs, and exhale as you affirm. Every day, in every way, the light and power of my path. I stand firmly on truth, expressing my noble self truly I tell you, the one who believes in me will also do the works that I do. And in fact, will do greater works than these.
After you, sir. Unmute yourself. You just muted yourself. Gary, unmute. Can you unmute, Eric? Unmute.
This is Eric Simpson. I'm lighting this power representing imagination. Imagination is our ability to see a new world and then some. It is our capacity to envision a transformed world as well as create and unfold our mental images until we experience their realization. At our point of power, we are creators, ability to see beyond the obvious at any given moment through the soul of life that is imbued with God. Imagination is the kindling of our divine nature, the glowing embers of eternal divine ideas, full of energy waiting to be formed into infinite possibilities. Developing our capacity of imagination helps us catch a seedling of an idea that grows into fullness, giving shape to the sacred and forming God into what the world needs most. That is compassion, love, joy, courage, and peace. On this eve of a new dawn, what do we do? What do we imagine for ourselves in this coming year? What possibilities are we contemplating? In the quiet, we let our imagination be our aliveness and our firm. Every day, in every way, the light of imagination illuminates my path. Infinite possibilities are eternally present, molded and shaped by me. We will say this together. Every day, in every way, the light of imagination illumines my path, infinite possibilities, and eternally present, molded, and is shaped by me. And our Bible verse today is Proverbs 23:7. For he that thinketh in his heart, so is he.
light my candle for the power of understanding. We all desire to know ourselves and the world around us in more profound ways. This requires questioning, and the fruit of that curiosity can lead to spiritual understanding, living the truth we know. It is natural to seek understanding when times are chaotic and confusing. The faculty of understanding is comprehending life's circumstances from the knowledge of our divine nature, not just from facts we collect. For the kingdom of heaven to unfold, we need to be able to stretch, to see with new eyes, taking in all that is happening, not only with our five senses, but with our hearts and minds too. When we harness that understanding, we act from a place of wisdom and compassion, allowing us to engage challenges with clarity and ease, because we are acting from what we are, divine. Looking back at this past year, think of times you felt frustrated, confused, or stuck. If you had understood then that you are divine, how might things have turned out differently? Focus on the power of understanding by affirming, every day, in every way, the light of understanding illumines my path. I live my life from my divinity with clarity and meaning. And let us repeat it together. Every day, in every way, the light of understanding illumines my path. I live my life from divinity with clarity and meaning. And in the epistle of James, chapter 3, verse 13, who is wise and understanding among you? Show by your good life that your works are done with gentleness, born of wisdom.
Will. I am now lighting the silver candle representing will. The power of will may be one of the most misunderstood of the 12 powers. It's not about having power over something or someone, not about control or influence. It's the opposite. Simply put, our spiritual will is our chooser. It moves us into right action with great clarity and peace. Will directs us to our well-being and supports us as we take our next right actions in any given situation. Even if the decision we have made and action we have taken seem outside the norm for us. The power of will is not about being diminished or controlled. Rather, it is our capacity to choose righteously with right use, to follow the way of life. The power of spiritual will engages latitude of thought, tempered always with love. Think about the new year that has just begun to unfold. Consider the power of will as you contemplate what is yet to come and affirm. Every day, in every way, the light of will illumines my path. I choose my life. I say yes with clarity and love. Let's affirm that together. Every day, in every way, the light of will illumines my path. I choose my life. I say yes with clarity and love. Matthew 7:14 reads, "For the gate is narrow and the road is hard that leads to life, and there are few who find it."
We light this candle representing order. Order is not a stagnant power. It is our ability to organize our thoughts and actions, as well as to dynamically change that order as conditions around us evolve. Divine mind, the one mind, is the spiritual power of order because it is the organizing principle imbued in all life. We may want to think divine order is something outside ourselves, a plan or strategy. Yet it is our capacity to be centered with the one divine idea, God. When we do this, life flows and our world is brought forth in a harmonious and balanced way. Aligning with the universal law of life allows us to organize divine ideas and create life from spiritual principles, rather than getting lost in experiences that are confusing or messy. When we harness the power of divine order, we recognize the growth and evolution that is always occurring and are able to float with the current, gracefully moving forward in life. Our focus is on the power of order, affirming every day, in every way, the light of order illumines my path. I am grateful for my ability to evolve gracefully. Let's say this together. Every day, in every way, the light of order illumines my path. I am grateful for my ability to evolve gracefully. And our scripture from Mark 4:28, the earth produces of itself first the stalk, then the head, then the full grain in the head.
It came upon the midnight clear, like glorious sun.
light this candle representing zeal. Zeal is the fierce expression of spirit. It is a fiery passion for life, the boldness of living with purpose. Spiritual zeal is demonstrated by our capacity to dive into our day, knowing full well what is rightfully ours to accomplish. It may seem overpowering for some, but fear not, it simply means we are expressing our devotion for making manifest any number of divine ideas. Zeal is awakening the fires that burn behind our words of truth, or when we respond to each other's needs. These fires motivate us into action, action that is no different than the winds and tides that move the universe. Zeal is a quintessential force for good, urging us always to spring forward to accomplish what seem like miracles. As you pause in silent reflection, remember zeal empowers you to express the glory of all creation, and affirm every day in every way, the light of zeal illuminates my path. Passionate and awakened, I am a vital force of spirit. Let us say this together. Every day, in every way, the light of zeal illumines my path. Passionate and awakened, I am a vital force of spirit. Romans 12:11, do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit.
I light this candle for the power of release. Through the power of release, we let go of limiting beliefs. We remember our inherent goodness, our divine identity, and we are unstoppable. In the quiet of our spiritual practice, we tune into thoughts, things, feelings, beliefs that need our attention so we can discern what is truly an expression of truth. The rest can be released so we can birth the fullness of our most noble selves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Release is a cleansing practice to free us from burdens we have carried far too long, making our bodies weary and our minds troubled. Our lives and the lives of those around us are freer, lighter, and more meaningful because we release what does not serve our greater good. In your meditation today, affirm, every day, in every way, the light of release illumines my path. Letting go of limiting beliefs, I live life more abundantly. Together, let's affirm. Every day, in every way, the light of release illumines my path. Letting go of limiting beliefs, I live life more abundantly. And from Isaiah chapter 58, verse 6. Is not this the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke?
We take this time to speak to the Holy One. Holy One, we accept this moment of time to be at one with you. We release, we bless, we forgive all actions and energies which have caused any harm or concern for ourselves or for any other. We are so grateful for your transformation of these thoughts of hurt and anger into goodness and peace. Blessed be.
Okay. We light this red candle representing life. Life is the everlasting power. We breathe it into our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It is a power of our presence, which evokes in others their own power to express the eternal activity of God, which is life itself. Since God is life, it means we are already whole, lacking nothing, and that we already belong. We are already loved. All life depends on surrendering to the life force of the Christ we are. The holiday season reminds us we are each the light of the world. We are each forever changed because of our ability to express the power of life, vitality, and wholeness. If you have a moment where you hold your breath, believing you are not capable of such power, take a slow, deep breath and affirm, every day, in every way, the light of life illumines my path. I am the power of God, the living light of the Christ. And let us say this together. Every day, in every way,
The light of life illumines my path. I am the power of God, the living light of the Christ. John chapter 10, verse 10 reads, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly.
Now we have completed the lighting of all 12 of the candles, and we have given mindful thought to each of the 12 divine powers. So let's hold those thoughts, those feelings of empowerment, the feeling of excitement and power, as we we lead a brief meditation entitled Silent Night. Silent night, holy night. In the quiet, sacred darkness, Christ is born. Silent, holy night, the womb of spirit, in silence and sacredness, a whisper of awe in the dark night. It is time. The light has come. Christ is born. Even when my mind is like a classroom filled with chattering kindergartners, boisterous and ungrounded, even then, Christ is born. Even when I fail to notice the purposeful order of my life and discount the generous blessings of every day, even then, Christ is born. Even when I give up on myself, harboring unkind self-judgment and believing in self-imposed limitations, even then, Christ is born. Even when I doubt and when I worry in unworthiness or boast and pretend I am separate and self-sustaining, even then, Christ is born. Even when I behold divine splendor in the faces of my loved ones, and when I give generously without first taking inventory of my good, even then, Christ is born. Christ is born into my silent, holy night. Christ is born into my silent, holy night. Our blessing as we prepare to complete our evening is this. Whatever your experience has been in 2020, may we each find a strand in the woven fabric of the Christmas spirit, and may it anchor us throughout this season, gentle, lifting our hearts and spirits while wrapping us in hope for the future. Happy holidays, my friends. May the peace and spirit of the season be upon you, and may you be richly blessed. Namaste.
Silent night. Holy night. All is calm. All is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Holy light. Perfect light. Christ of God,